Have you ever felt like 24 hours in a day are not enough? Like the clock keeps moving forward while you're stuck, unable to catch up? You wake up with intentions to be productive, yet somehow distractions creep in. Hours vanish into thin air. And at night, as you lay in bed, you whisper to yourself, "Tomorrow, I'll do better." But tomorrow arrives, and the same cycle repeats. This isn't just your struggle. It's the silent enemy of millions. Time slips away not because we don't have enough of it, but because we don't master it. The truth is, every person on Earth, from billionaires to students, has the same 24 hours. Yet some turn those hours into empires, while others let them dissolve into regrets. The difference is not luck. The difference is mastery. This book summary, Master Your Time by Thibaut Meurisse, is not about squeezing every drop out of your day until you collapse. It's not about being busy for the sake of looking productive. It's about focus, clarity, and energy. It's about training yourself to use time as your most valuable currency, because once it's gone forever. So let's begin this journey. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn might change the way you live the rest of your life. Productivity is not about working endlessly, nor is it about checking boxes on an infinite to-do list. Productivity is about using your time on what truly matters. It's about creating momentum in your life so that every action compounds into something greater. Think about it this way. If you spent 2 hours every day scrolling through social media, at the end of the year, that's 730 hours wasted. That's more than a full month of your life gone. Now imagine if you spent those same hours learning a new skill, building a side hustle, or deepening your relationships. In 1 year, your entire life could look different. That's what productivity really is. It's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things. And here's the secret. Your productivity depends on 2 resources: your time and your energy. Most people focus only on time management. They plan their days, create to-do lists, set alarms. But here's the truth. Time means nothing if your energy is drained. What matters is not how many hours you have, but what you do with the hours when your energy is at its peak. Your energy is not constant. It rises and falls like a tide throughout the day. Mastering your time starts with mastering your energy cycle. There are 6 phases to this cycle. Conservation: you restore your energy through quality sleep, good nutrition, and exercise. Without this, your day begins in deficit. Preparation: you wake up, and your body slowly gathers strength. Peak energy: this is your golden hour. For some, it's early morning. For others, midday. It's when you feel sharp, creative, and capable. Immersion: this is when you must tackle your most important tasks. Eliminate distractions. Dive deep. Recharge: after periods of focus, your energy drains. You need breaks: walk, stretch, breathe. Restart with recharged energy. The cycle begins again. If you align your most important tasks with your peak energy, you'll achieve more in 1 hour than most people do in 3. But if you waste that golden hour scrolling or watching TV, you've lost the day before it even began. Productivity is not a single step. It's a ladder, and each level takes you higher. Level 1. Eliminate distractions. Remove the noise around you. Your phone, notifications, useless meetings. Without this, you'll never rise. Level 2. Boost your energy. A tired body creates a tired mind. Exercise, sleep, and diet are your fuel. Without fuel, even the best strategy fails. Level 3. Define your vision. Without a clear goal, productivity is just busy work. What do you really want in 5 years? 10. Align your tasks with that vision. Level 4. Plan your day. Use simple systems. Pen, a notebook. Write your tasks. Prioritize them. Don't complicate it with endless apps. You need clarity, not complexity. Level 5. Balance relationships. Productivity isn't just about work. It's also about connection. If your relationships suffer, your life suffers. Spend time with friends and family. It matters. Level 6. Build systems for life. Productivity should not depend on willpower alone. Create repeatable systems, morning routines, weekly reviews, checklists that carry you forward even on bad days. Think of productivity as a staircase. Every level builds on the one below it. Skip a step and you'll fall. If productivity is the staircase, procrastination is the gravity pulling you down. Why do we procrastinate? Not because we're lazy, but because our brains seek comfort and avoid discomfort. Let's break down the 4 main reasons. Unclear tasks. When you don't know what to do or why it matters, your brain resists. The solution. Ask yourself, is this task truly important? What happens if I don't do it? What will I gain if I do? Clarity kills procrastination. Misunderstanding motivation. People wait to feel motivated before acting. But motivation doesn't come first. Action comes first. Motivation follows action. You don't feel like working out until you're 5 minutes into the workout. You don't feel like writing until you've written the first sentence. Start small and motivation will follow. Fear of failure. We procrastinate because we're afraid our work won't be good enough. Here's the truth. Perfection doesn't exist. Everything can always be improved. So stop chasing perfection and chase progress. Mental overload. When tasks pile up, the brain freezes. The way out? Write everything down. Break tasks into smaller steps. Categorize them by difficulty. Then tackle them one by one. Procrastination is a habit. And like every habit, it can be broken. Here's the core truth you must remember. Time is not in the past or the future. Time is only now. The past? It's gone. You can't change it. You can only learn from it. The future? It doesn't exist yet. You can only prepare for it. The present? This is where life happens. Every day is a micro-life. If you waste today, you waste the building blocks of your future. If you invest today, you invest in a future that compounds. Think about this. Will watching Netflix for 4 hours bring you closer to your dream life? Or will 1 hour of Netflix and 3 hours of learning, creating, or building give you more? Every day you choose. Every choice compounds. This is where mastery begins, by understanding that the present moment is all you truly own. Use it wisely. If there's one mistake most people make, it's living everywhere but the present moment. They dwell on the past, replaying mistakes, regrets, and failures. Or they live in the future, daydreaming, planning, and hoping, but never actually doing. Here's the truth. The past cannot be changed. The future cannot be controlled. The only thing you truly own is right now. And yet, how many of us throw away the now like it's worthless? We scroll endlessly. We binge shows. We chase dopamine hits. We delay the important tasks until tomorrow, forgetting that tomorrow is just another name for today. If you truly want to master your time, you must shift your perception of it. You must stop treating it as something infinite, because time is not infinite. It is running out. We live in the present, but our minds constantly pull us into the past and the future. And when we misuse these mental models, our productivity suffers. Think about the past. Do you ever replay memories of when you failed? Maybe you embarrassed yourself, lost a job, disappointed someone, or made a mistake. Instead of learning from those moments, you let them define you. You let the past dictate your present. That is the greatest theft of time. And what about the future? Some people use it as an excuse. They say, I'll start tomorrow. Or, next month, when things settle down, I'll finally begin. But that day rarely comes. And while they wait for the perfect time, life slips by. The solution is not to erase the past or ignore the future. The solution is to use them correctly. Learn from the past. Plan for the future. But live in the present. How do you do this? By separating your past self from your present self. Forgive your past mistakes. Let go of the weight you've been carrying. Then, look forward with clarity. Project what you want to become and design the steps to get there. But once the plan is written, return to the present. Because that's where execution lives. Here's a concept that changes everything. Every day is a micro-life. Your macro-life, the entire story of who you are, gets built one micro-life at a time. And that micro-life is today. So ask yourself, am I investing this day or wasting it? If you spend today on trivial distractions, your micro-life becomes meaningless. Stack enough meaningless micro-lives, and you create a meaningless macro life. But if you spend today building, creating, improving, connecting, and growing, your micro life becomes powerful. And when stacked together, these micro lives form an extraordinary life. The way you live each day is not random, it's training. Every decision teaches your brain what to value. Every action compounds. So how do you make sure today counts? By channeling your current energy into something productive and meaningful. If you waste your best hours watching Netflix or playing games, you cannot get that energy back. But if you use those hours to learn a skill, read, build a project, or improve your health, you've invested your time. The difference is massive. Imagine spending 1 hour a day learning a new skill. That's 365 hours in a year, the equivalent of 9 full work weeks. Do you think 9 work weeks of learning would change your future? Absolutely. This is why mastery begins with small, consistent investments. Time doesn't demand giant leaps. It rewards steady steps. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is thinking long-term. Most people think in days, maybe weeks, but the most successful people think in years, even decades. Ask yourself, if I keep doing what I'm doing today, where will I be in 5 years? 10? If the answer makes you proud, keep going. If the answer makes you anxious, change your habits now. Consistency is the multiplier of success. Small actions done daily add up to massive transformations. If you're learning a language, practicing for 20 minutes a day might feel small. But in 1 year, you'll shock yourself with how much you've improved. That's the power of compounding. But consistency alone is not enough. You need urgency. Here's the trap most people fall into. They think they have endless time. They relax, postpone, and delay. They believe tomorrow will be easier, but it never is. If you don't create urgency, you will keep procrastinating. That's why setting short, intense deadlines can transform your productivity. Instead of telling yourself, I'll achieve this goal someday, challenge yourself with a 90-day sprint. 90 days or 3 months is enough to make meaningful progress, but it's short enough to create pressure. Want to write a book? Break it into milestones. Outline in the first week, draft chapters in the next 8 weeks, edit in the final 2. Want to start a business? Spend the first week researching, the next 3 building, the next 6 selling, and the last phase refining. Deadlines force clarity. They stop you from waiting for the perfect moment and push you to act with intensity. And once you achieve one milestone, set the next. Progress breeds momentum. Big goals overwhelm us. They feel too heavy, too far away. That's why most people never start. The secret is to break them down into micro goals. If you want to write a book, don't think about 300 pages. Think about 1 page today. 1 paragraph if that's all you can manage. If you want to get fit, don't obsess about the perfect body. Focus on completing today's workout. If you want to build wealth, don't stress about becoming a millionaire overnight. Focus on saving, investing, and learning something every day. Micro goals create progress. Progress creates motivation. And motivation creates momentum. One of the most dangerous lies people tell themselves is, I don't have time. The truth is, you do. You just don't prioritize it. Every time you say, I don't have time, what you really mean is, it's not important enough. The person who spends 4 hours scrolling on their phone but claims they don't have time to exercise doesn't have a time problem. They have a priority problem. Instead of saying, I don't have time, reframe it. Say, it's not my priority right now. Or, I haven't made time for it yet. This forces you to take responsibility. Because if you really wanted it, you'd make time. The people who master time are not the ones who have more hours. They're the ones who refuse to waste them. Mastery begins with awareness. You must track how you actually spend your hours, not how you think you spend them. Spend 1 day writing down everything you do. You'll be shocked at how much time disappears into scrolling, random browsing, or pointless tasks. This exercise reveals the truth. You have enough time, but you waste it. And once you see the truth, you can no longer lie to yourself. From that moment on, you either accept responsibility and change, or you accept mediocrity and stay the same. The choice is always yours. To master your time, you must live with intention. This means making conscious choices instead of drifting. Ask yourself daily, does this activity move me closer to my goals? If I keep doing this for years, will I be proud of the outcome? Am I living or just existing? Living with intention requires courage, because it often means saying no. Saying no to distractions, to meaningless invitations, to endless entertainment. But every no to what doesn't matter is a yes to what does. And over time, those yes create a life worth living. You've now seen why productivity is not just about doing more, but about doing what matters. You've seen why procrastination kills potential, and how reframing your perception of time can change everything. But here's the next level: making meaningful use of your time. Because time is not just about efficiency, it's about direction. You can be the most efficient person in the world, yet if you're running in the wrong direction, all your energy goes to waste. This part of the journey is about making your hours matter. It's about ensuring that what you do each day aligns with your vision, your values, and your future. One of the biggest blocks to mastering your time is the mindset of limitation. You've probably said it before, I don't have time. But here's the reality: everyone has time. The billionaire, the athlete, the student, the single mother, the employee working 2 jobs. Every human has 24 hours. The difference lies in what they decide to do with those hours. When you say, I don't have time, what you're really saying is, I don't want this badly enough to make time for it. That's a harsh truth, but it's freeing. Because once you admit it, you stop making excuses. You stop blaming time, and you start taking responsibility. Instead of saying, I don't have time to work on my health, say, I'm choosing Netflix over my health. Instead of saying, I don't have time to build my business, say, I'm choosing comfort over progress. Once you phrase it like that, you can't hide behind excuses anymore. And that's when change begins. If you want to make meaningful use of your time, you must first know where it's going. Most people think they're productive, but in reality, they spend hours on autopilot. Try this exercise. Track your time for 1 full day. Write down what you do every hour, every minute. Don't lie to yourself. Don't justify. Just record. At the end of the day, look at the truth. You might realize you spent 4 hours on your phone, 2 hours in meaningless conversations, and only 30 minutes on what actually matters. That's not lack of time. That's lack of awareness. Self-awareness is the first step to mastery. Because once you see how you waste your time, you can no longer pretend you don't know. But awareness alone is not enough. You need purpose. Ask yourself, are the tasks I do daily aligned with my long-term goals? If not, you're building someone else's dream while neglecting your own. Here's the filter. Every time you do something, ask, if I keep doing this every day for the next 5 years, will I be proud of the outcome? If the answer is no, stop. Adjust. Redirect. Life is not about being busy, it's about being intentional. Here's the secret to making time meaningful: passion. Not the fleeting kind that comes and goes, but the kind that aligns with your values and your vision. Passion creates energy. Passion eliminates boredom. Passion makes hours fly by like minutes. So how do you find it? Start by asking these questions. What excites me? If the task makes you feel alive, it's worth your time. Is my target clear? If you don't know what you're aiming for, you'll waste energy in every direction. Does it align with my core values? For example, if freedom is your highest value, but your work traps you, you'll always feel conflict. Does it challenge me? Growth lives outside comfort. If the task doesn't stretch you, it won't transform you. Passion is not about doing what's easy. It's about doing what matters enough to endure the difficulty. Imagine this. Every morning, you wake up knowing exactly what to do and why it matters. No confusion. No hesitation. Just clarity. This is not a fantasy. It's what happens when you align your time with your vision. Your vision acts like a compass. Without it, you drift. With it, every choice becomes simple. Does this move me toward my vision or away from it? To create this compass, write down your vision. Be specific. Not just, I want to be successful, but I want to build a business that allows me to earn $10,000 a month while having time for my family. Not just, I want to be healthy, but I want to run a marathon in the next 12 months. Clarity creates urgency. Urgency creates action. Here's the truth. Meaningful use of time will often feel uncomfortable because it pushes you beyond your comfort zone. When you choose to work on your business instead of scrolling, it feels hard. When you choose to exercise instead of relaxing, it feels tiring. When you choose to read instead of watching TV, it feels boring at first. But comfort is a trap. It gives pleasure now but pain later. Growth does the opposite. It gives effort now but reward later. And every day, you must choose which life you're building. The comfortable one or the meaningful one. To know if you're using your time meaningfully, test it with this formula. Excitement. Does it give me energy? Clarity. Do I know why I'm doing it? Values. Does it align with who I am? Growth. Does it challenge me? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, ask yourself why you're still doing it. Let's be real. Wasting time is not harmless. It's expensive. Every wasted hour is an hour you'll never get back. An hour that could have built your future, strengthened your relationships, or improved your health. Think about the last time you said, I'll do it tomorrow. Now multiply that by 365 days. That's a year of wasted potential. The cost of wasted tea. Tea one page instead of binge watching. Call someone you love instead of refreshing your feed. Stack these choices and suddenly your life looks different. Your energy grows. Your confidence grows. Your results multiply. That's the power of time used with meaning. So far, we've talked about productivity, about the dangers of procrastination, and about living with intention. But now we go deeper into the mechanics of effective use of time. Because once you understand time, the real question becomes, how do you multiply it? How do you take the same 24 hours everyone has and make them worth more? The answer lies not in working harder, but in working smarter. Not in adding more hours to your day, but in multiplying the impact of every hour you already have. Let's break it down. One of the fastest ways to waste your time is trying to do everything yourself. You may think you're being productive, but in reality, you're drowning in low-value tasks. Consider this. If you spend 3 hours struggling to fix a technical problem you don't understand, when someone else could solve it in 30 minutes, you didn't save time, you wasted it. This is why the most successful people in the world are ruthless about delegation. They understand their time is precious, and they refuse to spend it on things that don't move the needle. So here's the first rule of multiplying time. Seek help when you need it. Don't let pride or stubbornness keep you trapped in busy work. Another secret to multiplying time is cutting the learning curve. In the past, knowledge was hard to access. Today, it's everywhere. You can learn almost anything faster through online tutorials, books, podcasts, or mentors. The person who wastes weeks figuring everything out alone falls behind. The person who invests a few hours learning from someone who's already mastered it leaps forward. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Stand on the shoulders of those who came before you. Here's where many people fail. They dabble. They try something for a few days, then quit. They never stick with anything long enough to master it. But time rewards mastery. The deeper you go into a skill, the more efficient you become. Think about typing. First, it's slow, frustrating, clumsy. But once you master it, your speed multiplies, your output multiplies, your time multiplies. This is the principle of mastering repetition. The more you practice, the less effort tasks require. Eventually, you reach a point where your results come almost automatically. But mastery also means knowing the fundamentals. Without them, you make mistakes, and mistakes cost time. Learn the basics, respect them, build on them. And finally, mastery means always staying a student. Because the moment you stop learning, you stop growing. Here's a brutal truth. Not all tasks are equal. Some move your life forward. Most don't. This is where the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, comes in. It says, 20% of your actions create 80% of your results. Think about it. In your business, maybe 20% of your clients generate 80% of your revenue. In your studies, maybe 20% of the topics matter for 80% of the exam. In your personal life, maybe 20% of your habits shape 80% of your health. So what happens when you spend your energy on the wrong 80%? You work harder, but you don't get anywhere. The secret is focus. Identify the critical 20% that drives the majority of your results and pour your energy there. Ignore the rest. This is how you multiply your time, not by doing more, but by doing what matters most. Another powerful way to save time is grouping similar tasks together. Switching from one task to another constantly destroys focus and momentum. For example, instead of checking email 10 times a day, group it into 1 or 2 focus sessions. Instead of running errands randomly, plan them in one trip. And go even further, create systems, checklists, routines, frameworks. Systems are the opposite of chaos. They reduce decision fatigue. They free your mind. Think of a pilot flying a plane. They don't rely on memory. They use checklists. Why? Because lives depend on it. Your life depends on your time, so treat it with the same seriousness. The fastest way to increase your time's value is by improving your skills. Every skill you gain multiplies your opportunities. Think about this. A person who knows how to code, market, and communicate is far more valuable than someone who knows only one of those things. Not because they work more hours, but because their skills multiply the impact of their hours. This is called skill stacking, combining abilities that make you uniquely powerful. So ask yourself, which skills would multiply my time if I learned them? Is it public speaking, negotiation, finance, writing, technology? The answer will be different for everyone, but the principle is the same. Investing in your skills today makes your hours tomorrow worth far more. Here's something most people never realize. Money can buy you time. Not in the literal sense, you can't buy more years, but you can buy back wasted hours. If your time is worth $50 an hour, and you spend 3 hours doing a task you could outsource for $30, you're not saving money, you're losing $120 of value. Smart people use money to save time. They invest in tools, services, or people who make their lives more efficient. Ask yourself, is this purchase an expense or an investment in saving my time? If it buys you hours to focus on higher value work, it's an investment. But buying back time doesn't mean being reckless with money. You must be disciplined. Before every purchase, calculate the real cost in hours. If you make $15 an hour and want to buy a $900 phone, that's 60 hours of work. Is it worth 60 hours of your life? Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. But asking this question forces clarity. Because money is not just money, it's stored time. When you see it that way, you'll stop wasting it on things that don't matter. And here's the ultimate level: using your money to create more time in the future. This could mean investing in your business so you can eventually step back. Or investing in education so your future hours are more valuable. Or investing financially so you can one day buy freedom. When you connect money and time, you realize the two are inseparable. Manage them both wisely, and you multiply your life. So let's summarize the formula for effective use of time. Seek help, don't drown in tasks others can do faster. Shorten the learning curve. Learn from those who know. Adopt a mastery mindset, respect fundamentals, practice relentlessly, and stay a student. Focus on the few, apply the 80-20 rule. Create systems or use checklists, routines, and frameworks. Stack your skills. Make your hours more valuable. Use money wisely. Buy time, not just things. Invest in the future, build assets that create freedom. Follow this formula, and your 24 hours will no longer feel ordinary. They'll feel limitless. Up to this point, you've learned how to align your time with your energy, how to destroy procrastination, and how to make your days meaningful. But here's the ultimate key: focus. Because you don't control time, you control focus. Think about it. Every single person has the same 24 hours. But why do some people build companies, write books, change industries, while others barely survive the day? It's not because they have more hours. It's because they use their focus differently. Focus is the magnifying glass that turns sunlight into fire. Without it, energy scatters. With it, you can burn through obstacles. So, let's dive into the art of extraordinary focus. Before you can build focus, you must understand what destroys it. And the truth is, most of us are bleeding focus every single day. Task switching. You think multitasking makes you productive. It doesn't. Every time you switch from one task to another, your brain wastes energy. Studies show it takes minutes, even hours, to regain deep concentration. Imagine how much focus you lose when you bounce between emails, social media, and work. Interruptions, notifications, phone calls, people asking for just a minute. These small interruptions don't just steal seconds, they destroy momentum. Checking emails and notifications, this one's deadly. Every time you check, you reset your brain. The focus you built up dissolves. Starting with trivial tasks, how many times have you opened your laptop and thought, let me just clear small tasks first? That's a trap. Those tasks drain energy, and by the time you get to what matters, you're exhausted. These enemies might look small, but they're not. They're the silent killers of focus. Once you know the enemies, you need weapons to fight back. Here are the tools that sharpen your focus. Identify the right task. Not every task deserves your focus. Choose the one that moves the needle most. Ask yourself, if I could only complete one thing today, what would make the biggest impact? Then give that your undivided attention. Practice deep concentration. Train your brain to go deeper. Set a timer for 45 minutes. Eliminate distractions. Work only on one thing. Then take a short break and repeat. This is how you train focus muscles. The 80-20 principle. Remember, 20% of your actions create 80% of your results. So don't waste your best hours on the 80% that doesn't matter. Save your golden energy for the high-impact 20%. Enter flow state. Flow is when you're so immersed in a task that time disappears. You lose yourself in the work. It feels effortless. Focus becomes automatic. That's the holy grail of productivity. Flow is not luck. It's a skill, and you can train yourself to enter it. Create a routine. Flow loves consistency. Work at the same time in the same place every day. Use rituals to trigger it, like making tea, lighting a candle, or meditating before you start. Eliminate distractions. Silence your phone. Turn off notifications. Put on headphones. Let people around you know not to disturb you. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Match challenge with skill. Flow happens when the task is hard enough to stretch you, but not so hard that it overwhelms you. Find the sweet spot. Allow yourself to be absorbed. Stop watching the clock. Don't worry about results. Just lose yourself in the process. That's when the magic happens. Focus is not something you either have or don't have. It's a muscle. And like every muscle, it grows when you train it. Start small. Maybe you can only focus for 20 minutes without checking your phone. Fine. Do that. Then stretch it to 30. Then 45. Then 90. Over time, your focus endurance increases. Soon, what once felt impossible will feel natural. Think about professional athletes. They weren't born with elite endurance. They built it one workout at a time. Your focus works the same way. Most people think focus is only about getting more work done. But that's just the surface. Focus changes everything. Better quality work. When you give something full attention, you don't just finish it, you master it. Less stress. Multitasking creates mental chaos. Focus creates mental peace. Stronger confidence. Every time you finish a task you set your mind to, your self-belief grows. Faster growth. Focused effort compounds. A year of deep focus equals a decade of shallow effort. Focus is not just a productivity hack, it's a life strategy. Here's a radical thought. Do one thing at a time. It sounds simple, but in today's world, it's revolutionary. Everyone is addicted to multitasking, but the real masters, they single task. When you're writing, just write. When you're exercising, just exercise. When you're with family, just be with family. The power of your presence transforms the quality of what you do. Cal Newport, in his book Deep Work, describes how the greatest thinkers and creators carve out hours of undisturbed time to go deep into meaningful work. This is where breakthroughs happen. You need to create your own version of deep work. Maybe it's 2 hours every morning before the world wakes up. Maybe it's late at night when distractions fade. But you must protect it like treasure. During deep work hours, the rule is simple. No shallow tasks. Only the hardest, most valuable work. This is how books are written, businesses are built, and dreams are made real. Finally, you must adopt a new mindset. Focus is not optional. It's survival. In a world of infinite distractions, your ability to focus is your superpower. The average person drowns in noise. The master tunes it out and builds in silence. Every time you choose focus, you separate yourself from the crowd. You move closer to greatness. Here's a challenge. For the next 7 days, give 1 hour daily to deep, focused work. No distractions. No multitasking. Just you and the task that matters most. By the end of those 7 days, you'll feel the difference. Your brain will adapt. Your results will multiply. And you'll understand why focus is the true currency of success. We've established that focus is the gateway to productivity. But here's the truth. Focus is fragile. It doesn't survive in chaos. If your environment is messy, if your systems are weak, if your routines are broken, your focus will collapse. That's why the next step to mastering your time is learning how to design systems and routines that protect your attention. Because willpower is not enough. Discipline is not about forcing yourself every single day. It's about creating structures that make good choices automatic. Most people rely on motivation. They say, I'll do it when I feel inspired. I'll work when I feel ready. But waiting for motivation is like waiting for the wind to push your ship. You'll drift endlessly, hoping for movement, but never reaching the destination. Systems are the sails. Systems are the engine. They don't depend on the weather. They carry you forward, even on days when you feel like quitting. Think about it. Do you brush your teeth because you feel motivated? No. You do it because it's a system, a routine, an automatic behavior. The same applies to productivity. If you build systems, you don't need to fight yourself every morning. The structure guides you. So, how do you design a system that works? Keep it simple, forget the endless apps, fancy planners, and complicated tools. All you need is a pen and paper or a simple digital note. Complexity kills consistency. Prioritize daily each morning. Write down the 3 most important tasks of the day. Not 10. Not 20. 3. When you finish them, the day is a success. Time block your hours. Don't leave your schedule open to randomness. Block out time for specific tasks. Treat these blocks like appointments you can't miss. Create rituals. Rituals are cues for your brain. For example, making coffee can signal it's time to work. Playing a certain playlist can signal focus. Small triggers condition your mind to enter work mode. Review and adjust at the end of each week. Review. What worked? What didn't? Adjust. Your system should evolve with you. The way you start your day sets the tone for everything. If you wake up and dive straight into emails, you've already surrendered your focus. If you wake up and scroll through social media, you've already scattered your attention. The masters start their day with intention. Silence, meditation, breathing, prayer, or journaling to center the mind. Movement, exercise to awaken the body and boost energy. Reflection, reviewing goals, reading something inspiring, or writing intentions. Action, tackling the most important task first, while energy is highest. Your morning is sacred. Protect it fiercely. But mornings aren't everything. The night before also matters. Evening routines prepare you for success tomorrow. Plan tomorrow, write down your top tasks before bed. Digital sunset, turn off screens an hour before sleeping. Wind down, read, stretch, or reflect. Signal to your body it's time to rest. Sleep ritual, go to bed at the same time. Sleep is not wasted time. It's the foundation of energy. Consistency here makes waking up easier, mornings smoother, and focus sharper. Every choice you make drains energy. That's why billionaires like Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg wore the same style of clothes daily. They eliminated small decisions so they could save focus for bigger ones. Ask yourself, where can I reduce unnecessary choices? Prepare meals in advance. Set fixed times for workouts. Automate bills and reminders. Simplify your wardrobe. The fewer decisions you waste on trivial matters, the more energy you keep for what truly matters. Here's a hard truth. Other people are constantly trying to steal your time. Not always maliciously, but through endless requests, interruptions, and expectations. If you don't protect your focus, the world will devour it. That's why you must learn the art of saying no. Politely, firmly, unapologetically. Every yes you give is a no to something else. If you say yes to every small favor, you're saying no to your own priorities. Respect your time enough to guard it. Without systems, your life is chaos. And chaos is expensive. Missed deadlines, forgotten commitments, constant stress, wasted energy. This is the cost of living reactively instead of proactively. But when you build systems, you reduce chaos. You gain peace of mind. You trust yourself to follow through. Systems don't make life rigid, they make it free. Because when the basics are handled, your mind is free to focus on creativity, strategy, and vision. Warren Buffett, one of the most successful investors of all time, shared a method with his pilot that became legendary. It's called the two-list method. Write down your top 25 career goals. Circle the top 5. Forget the other 20 completely. Why? Because the other 20 are distractions. They're not failures, but they dilute your focus. You must learn to say no to good opportunities so you can pursue great ones. This principle applies to everything. Focus only on the few that matter. Here's something most people ignore. Your environment controls your behavior more than your willpower. If your phone is next to you, you'll check it. If junk food is in your kitchen, you'll eat it. If your workspace is cluttered, your mind will be too. But if you design your environment, you design your behavior. Put your phone in another room while working. Keep healthy snacks visible, hide unhealthy ones. Create a clean, organized workspace that signals focus. Don't rely on discipline. Design your environment to make good choices easy and bad ones hard. Many people resist routines and systems because they think they'll feel trapped. But the opposite is true. Freedom does not come from chaos. Freedom comes from structure. When you control your time, you free yourself from guilt, stress, and wasted potential. When you have routines, you don't waste energy deciding, you simply act. And when you act consistently, you build momentum. And momentum is freedom. At this stage, you already understand that time mastery is not about squeezing every second, but about multiplying the impact of every hour. You've seen how focus, routines, and systems shape your productivity. But now comes the part most people ignore: energy management. Because time without energy is useless. You can have 12 hours free, but feels impossible. This is why energy is the real currency. Manage it well and you multiply your time. Mismanage it and you waste both time and opportunities. Think of energy as your battery. Every task, every decision, every distraction drains it. But the right habits recharge it. Your goal is to build routines that keep your energy battery high throughout the day. There are 3 main sources of energy you must protect. Physical energy, this comes from your body. Sleep, nutrition, exercise, hydration. Ignore these, and you sabotage yourself before the day even begins. Mental energy, this comes from your ability to focus, manage stress, and reduce overwhelm. A clear mind works fast. A cluttered mind wastes hours. Emotional energy, this comes from relationships, passion, and meaning. If your emotional state is low, you won't sustain productivity, no matter how well you manage your time. When you align these 3 pillars, you become unstoppable. Let's start with sleep. Too many people sacrifice it in the name of productivity. They wear sleepless nights like a badge of honor. But science is clear. Lack of sleep destroys focus, memory, mood, and even physical health. Sleep is not wasted time. It's the foundation of energy. Here's how to protect it. Go to bed and wake up at the same time daily. Avoid screens at least an hour before sleep. Create a bedtime ritual: reading, stretching, or journaling. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Protect your sleep, and your productivity will skyrocket. What you eat is either fuel or poison. Eat heavy, processed junk, and your body crashes. Eat clean, balanced meals and your energy stays stable. Think of food as fuel for your focus. Protein stabilizes. Complex carbs sustain. Healthy fats sharpen. Hydration keeps your brain alive. The rule is simple. If it grows from the earth or comes from nature, it fuels you. If it's processed in a factory, it drains you. Your body is not designed to sit all day. Sitting for hours is the modern disease. The cure is movement. Exercise is not just about muscles or looks. It's about energy. Every time you move, you pump oxygen into your brain, boost creativity, and release endorphins that fight stress. You don't need to become a bodybuilder. A daily walk, stretching, or a quick workout can transform your energy levels. Move your body and your mind will follow. Now let's talk about mental energy. Your brain is like a computer. Too many tabs open and it slows down. How do you clear mental clutter? Write things down, don't keep tasks in your head. Put them on paper. Free your brain to focus on the present. Reduce decision fatigue, simplify routines. Automate small tasks. Save energy for the big decisions. Practice mindfulness meditation, journaling, or simply pausing to breathe resets your mind. Even 5 minutes can restore clarity. When your mind is clear, you don't waste time hesitating or overthinking. You act. Finally, emotional energy. People underestimate how deeply emotions shape productivity. If you're angry, stressed, or unhappy, focus becomes impossible. If you're inspired, passionate, and connected, focus flows effortlessly. Protect your emotional energy like treasure. Surround yourself with positive people. Toxic relationships drain you. Do work that excites you, even if just a small part of your day. Celebrate small wins. Progress fuels confidence. Practice gratitude. It shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Emotional energy is the spark that keeps the engine alive. Here's a paradox. The harder you work without breaks, the less productive you become. Your brain needs recovery to function at its best. Use techniques like the Pomodoro method, 45 minutes of work, followed by a 5 to 10 minute break. Or after a deep focus session, take a longer break to walk or stretch. Recovery is not laziness. It's strategy. It allows you to come back stronger. Everyone has natural rhythms. Some people are morning warriors. Others do their best work at night. The secret is not to fight your rhythm but to master it. Track your energy throughout the day. Notice when you feel sharpest. Protect those hours for your most important work. Use lower energy times for shallow tasks. When you align your tasks with your energy peaks, you get more done in less time. Finally, you must guard your energy against negativity. Every complaint, every argument, every drama you let into your life is a leak. Ask yourself, does this conversation, this person, this activity give me energy or drain me? If it drains you consistently, limit it. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It's survival. To summarize, here's how you master energy. Sleep like it's your job. Eat clean, natural foods. Move daily, walk, stretch, exercise. Clear your mind through writing and mindfulness. Protect your emotional state. Take breaks to recharge. Align tasks with energy peaks. Eliminate negativity. Master this formula and your time multiplies. Because when your energy is high, every moment becomes more valuable. By now, you've learned how to build focus, manage energy, and create systems that protect your productivity. But there's one more layer to mastering your time, the mindset of ownership. Because here's the truth. Until you take full responsibility for your time, you will always live as a victim of circumstances. You'll blame your boss, your family, your environment, even the world itself. But the real thief of your time is you. The day you stop making excuses and take ownership is the day your life begins to change. How many times have you told yourself, I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start tomorrow. I'm not ready yet. Every one of these excuses is a thief. They steal your future while comforting you in the present. But here's the truth. There will never be a perfect time. You'll never feel fully ready. Life will never hand you the perfect conditions. Winners don't wait for conditions. They act despite them. When you say, I don't have time, what you really mean is, I didn't make it a priority. When you say, I'm too tired, what you really mean is, I didn't manage my energy. When you say, I'll start tomorrow, what you really mean is, I'm afraid to start today. Taking responsibility means stripping away the lies. It means admitting that the results you have are the results you created. This might sting, but it's also liberating. Because if you created your current reality, you can create a new one. Ownership is not about control, it's about response. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. If your boss overloads you, you can choose to manage priorities or set boundaries. If life throws challenges at you, you can choose to adapt or collapse. Ownership means shifting from victimhood to power. From why me to what can I do? This mindset is the difference between those who waste their time and those who master it. The role of urgency ownership also means living with urgency. Too many people act like time is infinite. They delay dreams, thinking there will always be another chance. But there won't. Imagine this. If you only had 90 days left to transform your life, what would you do differently? What would you stop wasting time on? What would you finally start? Urgency cuts through procrastination. It forces you to act now, not later. So instead of saying, I'll get fit someday, commit to a 90-day challenge. Instead of saying, I'll start my business one day, launch something this month. When you add urgency, time bends in your favor. Another tool of ownership is micro-commitments. Big goals feel overwhelming. They scare people into inaction. But small commitments feel doable. Want to write a book? Commit to 1 paragraph a day. Want to build fitness? Commit to 10 minutes a day. Want to start saving money? Commit to setting aside $1 daily. Small actions compound. And once you start, momentum grows. Remember, the first step is always the hardest. But once you move, the second step becomes easier. Taking ownership also means mastering the word no. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're saying no to something vital. Your dreams, your goals, your health. But people struggle to say no because they fear judgment. They fear disappointing others. Here's the secret. You are disappointing yourself every time you say yes to things that don't matter. Learn to say no without guilt. Because your time belongs to you, not to everyone else. One of the most powerful ownership tools is asking, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, don't waste time. Scrolling social media won't matter. Gossip won't matter. Complaining won't matter. But investing in your health, your relationships, your skills, that will matter, not just in 5 years, but for a lifetime. Ownership is choosing long-term rewards over short-term distractions. The ultimate formula is urgency plus consistency. Urgency pushes you to start. Consistency keeps you going. You can't rely only on urgency or you'll burn out. You can't rely only on consistency or you'll move too slowly. Together, they create unstoppable momentum. Imagine committing to 90 days of consistent action. 3 months. That's all. By the end, you'll look back and realize you've done more in 90 days than in the last 3 years combined. That's the power of ownership. Let's be brutally honest. If you keep blaming your circumstances, your environment, or your luck, you'll stay stuck forever. The victim mindset is seductive because it removes responsibility. But it also removes power. Ownership is harder because it demands responsibility. But it gives you back power. You can either live as a victim of time, or you can live as its master. You cannot do both. Here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, remove the phrase, I don't have time, from your vocabulary. Replace it with the truth. Say instead, I chose not to make time for this. It's not my priority right now. Notice how uncomfortable it feels at first. That's good, because it forces you to see where you're lying to yourself. After 1 week, you'll start to see a shift. You'll realize you have more control than you thought. And once you taste ownership, you'll never want to go back to excuses. We've now covered productivity, focus, systems, energy, and ownership. But there's a deeper layer to time mastery: purpose. Because time without purpose is just existence. You can be productive, disciplined, and efficient, yet still feel empty if what you're building doesn't matter. Mastering your time isn't just about doing more. It's about living a life worth remembering. A life that feels meaningful. A life where every hour contributes to the story you want to tell. Look around you. So many people are busy. Their calendars are full. Their days are packed. But when you ask them what they're really working toward, they can't answer. This is hollow productivity, activity without direction. It feels like progress, but it's really motion without momentum. You can run fast on a treadmill and still stay in the same place. That's what happens when you're busy without purpose. The cure is clarity. Ask yourself, what do I want my life to stand for? Is it success, freedom, family, contribution, growth? Is it building wealth, leaving a legacy, helping others? There are no wrong answers. But there are dangerous ones, the ones that don't come from you but from society. Too many people chase goals they never chose. They study careers they don't care about. They buy things they don't need. They live lives designed by someone else. Time mastery begins when you stop living by default and start living by design. Here's a simple test. Look at how you spend your time. Then ask, does this align with the life I say I want? If you say health matters but you spend no time exercising, there's a misalignment. If you say family matters but you spend no time with them, there's a misalignment. If you say freedom matters but you spend all your time serving other people's dreams, there's a misalignment. Time never lies. Your schedule reveals your true values. To realign, you must live with intention. That means every day you consciously choose how to spend your hours. If it doesn't serve your health, your relationships, your growth, or your purpose, limit it. If it strengthens you, connects you, and moves you closer to your vision, double it. Living with intention requires courage, because it means saying no to comfort, distraction, and sometimes even people who don't understand your path. But every intentional choice is a brick. Over time, those bricks build the life you want. Here's a powerful exercise. Fast forward to the end of your life. Imagine people are talking about you. What do you want them to say? That you worked hard but never really lived? That you wasted potential on distractions? Or that you used your time to create, to love, to build, to leave something that outlived you? This is the legacy question. It strips away the noise and forces clarity. Because at the end of the day, your legacy is nothing more than the accumulation of how you spent your hours. Two elements make time truly meaningful: contribution and growth. Contribution, using your time to help others. Could be building, teaching, inspiring, serving, or supporting. Contribution creates fulfillment because it connects your time to something bigger than yourself. Growth, using your time to become more. Learning new skills, expanding your mind, challenging your limits. Growth creates fulfillment because it proves you're not wasting your potential. When your days include both contribution and growth, you live with purpose. Think about the hours people spend chasing validation, likes, views, gossip, trends. 10 years from now, none of it will matter. But the hours you spend building yourself, helping others, and creating something real, those hours will echo for a lifetime. Time is a limited resource. The more you waste on trivial pursuits, the less you have for what truly matters. Purpose isn't only about long-term goals. It's also about presence, about being fully alive in the moment you're in. When you're with loved ones, put away the phone. When you're working, give your full attention. When you're resting, rest deeply. Presence multiplies time. 1 hour of full presence is worth more than 10 hours of half attention. Here's your challenge. For the next 30 days, track how you spend your hours. At the end of each day, ask yourself, did I grow today? Did I contribute today? Was I present today? If you can answer yes to all three, you're living with purpose. If not, adjust tomorrow. Small changes compound. Over time, you'll look back and realize you didn't just master your time, you mastered your life. We've walked through the journey of time mastery, from productivity and focus to energy, systems, ownership, and purpose. Now we arrive at the conclusion: integration. Because knowledge means nothing without action. Insights are wasted unless they become habits. The real challenge is not understanding how to master your time. It's living it every single day. So let's bring everything together. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Lose money and you can earn it again. Lose opportunities and new ones will appear. But lose time and it's gone forever. Every moment you waste is a piece of your life you'll never return to. This truth should not depress you. It should fuel you. It should light a fire inside you to protect your hours as if they were gold. Because they are. Let's revisit the key lessons one last time. Productivity is about priorities. Don't chase busy work. Focus on what matters most. Procrastination is a habit. Break it by starting small, seeking clarity, and acting before motivation arrives. The present is all you own. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is a promise. Today is your chance. Energy is everything. Sleep, food, and movement fuel your hours. Protect them. Focus is your weapon. Eliminate distractions. Embrace deep work. And train your brain to concentrate. Systems create freedom. Routines, checklists, and rituals make good choices automatic. Ownership is the shift. Stop making excuses. Take responsibility for every choice. Purpose gives meaning. Align your time with growth, contribution, and legacy. This is the framework. Live by it and your hours will multiply in value. Ignore it and your life will dissolve into wasted days. Let's be brutally honest. Most people will hear this, nod their heads, and then go back to wasting time. They'll think, that's inspiring. But they won't change. Why? Because change feels hard. Because distractions are easy. Because comfort is seductive. But you're not most people. If you've made it this far, it means something inside you refuses to accept mediocrity. Something inside you knows that your time is precious. That you can't afford to keep living on autopilot. The question now is simple. Will you act? Remember, mastery doesn't require giant leaps. It requires small, consistent steps. Write down your top 3 priorities tomorrow morning. Block 2 hours for deep work this week. Go for a walk instead of scrolling for 30 minutes. Say no to one distraction today. Sleep 1 hour earlier tonight. These are small steps, but stack them and you'll transform your life. Here's the beauty of mastering your time. It compounds. 1 hour spent learning today becomes 10 hours saved tomorrow. 1 hour invested in health today becomes years added to your life. 1 hour given to relationships today becomes decades of connection. Every choice compounds into something greater. The question is, are you compounding value or regret? Urgency doesn't mean rushing. It means realizing that life is short and choosing to spend your time on what matters. Don't wait to start that project. Don't wait to mend that relationship. Don't wait to pursue that dream. Act now. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. Because the clock is ticking whether you move or not. At the end of your life, people won't remember how many hours you worked, how many shows you watched, or how many notifications you answered. They'll remember what you built, who you loved, and how you lived. Your legacy is written in how you spend your time. So spend it wisely. Here's the final challenge. For the next 90 days, live as if your time truly mattered. Cut distractions. Protect your focus. Guard your energy. Take ownership. Live with purpose. 90 days. That's all. If you do this, your life will look different 3 months from now. And once you see the results, you'll never go back to wasting time again. Time is not infinite. It's slipping away second by second. You can't stop it. You can't control it. But you can master it. You can choose to let time slip through your fingers, or you can choose to use it as the most powerful force in your life. The choice is yours. So master your time. Master your focus. Master your energy. Master your life. Because once you do, nothing, not fear, not excuses, not distractions, can stop you.